live on the street. Yakumo Ran. I was about a minute and a half into a tirade when I unfortunately noticed that the physical, the button on my microphone that allows it to make sound was off. It's a habit of mine once I finish recording something, or once I finish streaming, to press the button. It's a little bit of healthy, unhealthy. I think it's healthy. Paranoia on my part, where I prefer to prevent my microphone from being able to record me, when I'm not intending to be heard. Mm, Not to say I'm doing anything particularly interesting or, perhaps untoward in those moments. It's just, you know, if you don't think you're being recorded, you don't really want to be recorded, and I think that's fair. I think most people will agree. There's no such thing as you shouldn't be worried if you have nothing to hide. Even if you have nothing to hide, it's very often that you don't want to be recorded. It's painful to live under surveillance. You might be able to hear in the background the classic shuffle of cards. Comforting, isn't it? Well, who knows? I don't know if I find it comforting. If we're being honest, I don't play Solitaire that often. I started playing Solitaire as part of this video series. I think we're early enough in the series that, since I'm saying so now, it doesn't count as trying to put on airs. Act like I am anything but a Solitaire novice, so to speak. But what point would I like to make? What point was I trying to make? I'm not sure. If you want to know what I was talking about during my short, silenced, now deleted a minute and a half, I was mostly talking about what I was doing. And what I was doing was I was deleting some games on Steam to free up space for the VODs, or for recordings. And I was saying how there's part of me that sort of wants to hold on to that stuff. I don't really want to delete it, even though some of them may no longer be valid. For example, on my channel now, I've uploaded a highlights reel of one of my streams. And in theory, that means I can just delete that stream. But in practice, there's part of me that doesn't want to delete it. And that's sort of what I was getting at. It's sort of, do you delete something as soon as, you've cut it? And I was saying, well, I'm sure eventually my channel will be deleted. And I was saying, those of you who watch, not that anyone is necessarily watching, and it's far more likely that no one is watching, even the people who say they want to watch, say they're interested. And I don't blame them. I put out some content, not a lot, a little bit of content. But I think more than any reasonable person who's just sort of interested only insofar as they are a friend of mine would want to consume, right? And I think we might have lost. But, well, not yet. It's going to say, oh, do you realize you can actually unloose here, right here? Not quite. But I was saying, I don't really know why I think I would lose. Or, sorry, I know why I think I might lose. I've lost right now. You guys can't see this for some reason. Oh, you know why? Because it's game capture, but not display capture. There you guys go. It makes little difference, but now you know it's the genuine Solitaire. I can say play again. You can see the cards shuffle. I can go to About Solitaire. You can see that it's 6.1, build 7601 for Service Pack 1. But you know, there's no particular reason I think that I might get my channel deleted. It's just YouTube doesn't really respect the people who make all the content for them. My content is low quality. My content is low quantity. Nobody watches my content. So, in a way, I'm even more at risk to get deleted. But in another way, it's extremely unlikely they'll delete me because nobody will bring it to their attention that I'm a waste of space. And in some ways, you know, I'll be honest, I think I'm rather successful in life. But in some ways, in a lot of ways, I think I'm sort of a waste of space in real life too. But, you know, I'm not important enough for anyone to think about this or realize it. So I'm allowed to carry on. No one brings my existence to anyone else's attention. No one seems to worry about it. And in a way, that's alright. Is it the life I would choose? It's hard to say. Is it better to live a mediocre and unnoticed life? Well, if the alternative is a mediocre and noticed life, maybe, you know? Maybe there's something to be said for nobody noticing you. Maybe there's a lot to be said. There's sort of a comfort in knowing that nobody will ever point to you and say, hey, you're not doing the things you need to do. You're not, you know, you're falling behind. You need to do this. You need to do that. I get a little bit of that, but that's, you know, that's part of having a job. I don't quite have a job. I have something like a job, which is not to say that I'm unemployed. It's to say that my employment is somewhat unusual. Not wholly unusual. I'm a student. You know, I'm lucky enough to be paid to go to university. Am I performing up to the standard of the people who pay me? Probably not. I'm sure there are a lot of people who regret the decisions they've made in hiring me. Paying money for me to continue to exist, but you know, in another stroke of strange luck, I think they're too far gone to want to take that money back, to want to cancel my employment. I think that's where we'll end this video. This is going to be, I think, my first time recording multiple videos. I've just ended at 4:20 a.m. It's a big dude weed lamau moment. But, thank you for watching. This has been live on the street. Yakumo Ran.